Hello everyone, welcome to the third video of this Team Leaders Academy, and today we are in the part of performing. So of course performing is the longest part in any team project where people are working together, is where progress can be improved and tracked both for the team and individually. It's where operations actually happen and where competences are developed on ground. So basically this is where the magic happens, where things are happening, and as said before, is like all of the basically the whole project except for the first 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks. So we start with results elevation. The first element that we have is practical learning, so incentivizing members to learn by doing operations and activities on ground. So as you see, almost all of the global learning environments are included there, because practical learning can happen in many different ways. When you're having a one-to-one, you are learning, you can like practice to do it. You can, in a conference, you can have a session where you are basically practicing how to do something. When you are in even in a virtual space, you can be asked to do something or to deliver something. So any occasion is the perfect occasion to do some practical activities, and this is the way that we should drive all of our members to learn and to do more. Then we have team working times. This is the moments where everyone gets together to work. I recommend strongly to have them during or after weekly meetings, because after you revised everything, you are usually more empowered to work and you can just stay together for some more time and do the working time. And it's about creating spaces for the team to work together to achieve more results, of course. And as you can see, we have team spaces and also learning circles, because many times when you are working together, you're also teaching each other how to do certain new stuff or giving each other good ideas. And the last one is team incentive system, so aligning performance measurements with competence and values and recognizing and appreciating members and teams accordingly. So if in your LC there is already an R&R system, make sure that it is measuring results and that it is aligned with the competences and the values of the organization. And if not, you can talk to whoever it's your, like if you are a team leader, you can talk to your VP. If you are a VP, you can talk to your LCP, and make sure that you can have one for the LC, and it's not just for your area on your team. And it's always a super cool way to incentivize members to, to recognize them for their good work and to help them like want to achieve more. And as usual, we have here the full detailed explanation of how things should be done. We are not going through this on the video, but you can read it because it's going to be asked on the questions. The second step inside of performing is performance tracking. It consists of accountability systems, so using tracking tools and dashboards for measuring individual and team performances in terms of achieve versus plan, for plan versus achieve. So my recommendation is that don't have 1,000 billion tools. Try to have everything in just one place where members can go and check everything. For example, every managerial board of ISEC for Poland should have their tracking tools. So you can also use the tricks of Excel to connect tools together so that you don't have to update them all, but when you update one, then everything else is updated. But yes, they are very important. Like I know a lot of people are not very fans of tools, but this is a very objective way of seeing like clearly in numbers or done or not done how much we have achieved of the things that we promised. And accountability systems, of course, happen virtually, because we can have like some system virtually if we have the tools, if we have our groups where we talk, also in one-to-ones, because we can, when we go to one-to-ones, we check with our team leaders how many of the deliverables that we had for the month were delivered and how many were not. And in team spaces, because we also report in each meeting how much we did and we did not do. The second one is individual tracking meetings, so checking overall achievements of individual action plan, giving suggestions for higher performance, recommended to be monthly, of course, because we have our one-to-ones monthly, and then we should check professional goals achievement as well as personal goals achievement. So this is a perfect place to check, okay, how much did I do and how much I didn't, and what else do I need to, keep on achieving and getting better. And the last ones are the team reviews, which should happen weekly, of course, in our team meetings. We're always revising how we're doing with results and so on. But monthly, it is really cool to have choose one of the 4 meetings that we're having in the month for it to be the monthly review, where we can actually know, have a assessment of the whole month. What were the things that we were good at? What were the things that we can improve? And quarterly, so every 3 months, it's also cool, and you can even do it together with team days. So for example, if you're having your team for 6 months, you will have like 2 team days, and it can be super cool for the development of the team, to revise team dynamics, and also to come up with new more creative ways of doing things that can bring more results. Of course, again, here is all the detailed explanation of each of the steps. And then we have support system, that is the one that has the most elements inside of it. The first one are lead spaces, so creating spaces to facilitate members' inner journey in order to develop leadership qualities and live the values. So there are a lot of materials around in the internet about lead spaces and how to deliver them, but the most important thing that we all should know is that leadership spaces should be based on one of the defining elements inside of the 4 LDQs. So we cannot have a lead space, or for example, about self-aware, because this is not a lead space. A lead space should be about explore your own passions, which is one of the elements inside of self-aware, because in this way is clearer, is more objective, is more to the point, and we know exactly what to do in order to be self-aware, because self-aware is like a big concept that we cannot measure if we are or not. So yes, practice about your lead spaces and ask for help to deliver them, because they can be very useful for your members to develop even more and faster and do more results. Then of course team meetings, so facilitating frequent spaces for members to support each other in terms of operational gaps. Team meetings are sacred, like you cannot have 1 week without a meeting. Even if only one person shows up, you as team leader must deliver it. Of course, if something out of this world happen and there's an emergency or anything, you can miss, for example, I don't know, 1 or 2 meetings in the whole project, but it is very, very important that they happen, because it is a way of keeping the routines and respecting basically the rules that were set with the team. And 1 week without a meeting means that a gap there will be there. Also remember that you can have them virtually, so if something ever happens and you cannot meet, you can do them virtually. It's not cool if you have all of them virtually, because meeting with the people and seeing them, like, it's better for the work. You can read facial expressions better. Usually virtually there is used to be like misunderstanding, and people can be focused on more things at a time, like in a meeting you ensure that they are 100% focused on the meeting and in the people around. So yes, this is very important. And another important thing is, like, remember, you can be you can be very creative with your meetings. You don't need to have always the same meeting with everything. If you ever see that your team is needed something new, you can always include it, and of course ask for help, because there's a lot of people with a lot of experience that can help you. One-to-ones, of course, facilitating individual spaces for the members to reflect on their personal development and establish next steps forward, and they should happen monthly. You can put spaces for them to reflect on how was their month, what they did good, what they can improve, and so on. Team days, as I said before, they should happen at least once a quarter. If you want to do them more often, it's okay, but just take into consideration that they are not taking out like time for the regular activities. Like team meetings, for example, should happen every week, and it's not that you can miss, for example, a team meeting in order to have a team days, unless that in the team days you are going to tackle the things that should be tackled in the meeting. Feedback is also very, very important. Of course, as we said in ISEC, it's always a gift, and you can do it in team days. Is one of the perfect moments, because we are already in the mood of reflection. We are already like in a mood of like supporting the team or revising team dynamics. So it's cool that you do it at that point. And you can check here how to deliver each of those steps. Also, we have the calendar on how to do things. So the good thing about this calendar is that it's like perfectly organized, and you can check week by week what are the things that should be happening. So make sure you read it, and yes. And one of the last things that I'm adding here in this presentation are examples for the meetings, so how they should happen, so agenda and everything, so that we are super clear on how they should look like. So the agenda for a team leader, for a team meeting, The ones that are weekly should last 1 hour. Like, it can last more, but not, I think, not less in general. And what is the objective and the outcome that you should have is that we need to understand the main bottlenecks or achievements that we're having as a project, and we should assign next steps and address the bottlenecks. So how can we improve the way we're doing things? On the agenda, you can have a cool check-in, show the current status, then people should report what they did from last week to the week of the meeting. Plan for next week and assign different tasks for everyone, and of course optional trainings if they're needed, knowledge, so any materials that they can read, and or a working time. So you can choose, as I was saying before, according to the moment where you are and what are the bottlenecks that are having, to have one of those 3 spaces. Then, as for working times, of course, the outcomes are results. So we need to ensure that we have a clear objective and goal that we want to achieve with the working time, and it's about executing tasks and processes. So we should like simply sit together and work. And as when it comes to one-to-ones, the outcome is personal and professional development. It's making sure that our members are basically having everything they need to make their tasks, perform their tasks in the best way. As when it comes to agenda, we have our beautiful PDP, so personal development plans, which is a simple tool that you can use to keep track of all the one-to-ones that you're having with each member, and where you're supposed to track the professional goals, so the goals inside of ISEC that they have, and the personal goals that they want to achieve through being in ISEC. So, for example, they want to improve their public speaking, so they can do some tasks that anyways you have to do in ISEC, and this can help you basically improve your public speaking skills. So yes, that was all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to take the test, and see you soon.